inside the main, about 4 cannons there. That's only going to prevent that Bisu being very careful. He's playing a pretty good game. A few zealots that are on the ground. They're going to take a pot shot there. A lot of Mutas everywhere for Zero. Zero has to be very careful not to go too Muta heavy because, oh man, gets caught by the Mutas there by the cannons as well as the Corsairs. Loses a few Mutas and then the others are very heavily damaged. But yeah, wow, so many Corsairs meanwhile. Those are probably there to take care of the Corsairs. Oh man, a perfect trap there against the Corsairs. Every single Corsair goes down. Bisu loses 5 of his Corsairs to all of those Scourge. So actually a very nice trap by Zero. Was going very heavy Mutalisk and just completely led Bisu into a trap there. Bisu has to be very careful. He has a large ground army. He has to be very careful not to let that get fully picked up by Mutalisk. And Zero also has Hydralisk on the ground. I don't know if that is just going to be simple Hydralisk or whether he's going to go for Lurkers, a Lurker Muta build, or we're going to go Hydralisk and Mutalisk, I'm sorry, another Corsair getting picked up there by the Mutalisk this time. Bisu, after losing those 5 Corsairs, I just said something that sounded like it was foreign. But anyway, all his Mutalisk doing, catching a bunch of those probes and transitioning going to take it down. But yeah, Bisu doing pretty bad job at this point. He's mismicroing a little bit. And having lost that large force of Corsair that he has, not going to be able to rebuild nearly fast enough. Bisu now has weapons and 1 upgrades for his Zealots, and he has a very Zealot-heavy army. But with those Mutas there, they're pretty much worthless. He needs Archons and High Templar to support those troops. He now has that base there, and it's pretty good. Well, a lot of cannons, but those Hydras are going to move in. Bisu needs to move into the back. Meanwhile, going to try to counterattack with his Zealots. Oh man, this base is going to get decimated. A bunch of Hydras there. Meanwhile, Bisu going in with only a few Zealots actually in that main, but with those Hydras and Mutas there, he's going to get taken down. And this base is also going to get cleaned up. Zealots and Archons moving in far too late. Meanwhile, all those Zealots are going to get cleaned up fairly soon. There are Mutas and Hydras there just waiting for them. Bisu being a little pain there, but not really doing any damage. Meanwhile, okay, never mind. That expansion does stay alive. There's heavy harassment there by Zero, though. I think he took down probably several of the probes, quite a few of them, and did harass that base pretty much. All those cannons and pylons have to be rebuilt again. Heavy ground army there. High Templar finally now out from Bisu, although not catching anything with that particular storm there. He has Archons, Dragoons, Zealots, and High Templar, and just needs to exile Temple. Then you have the same composition that he had last time. He not going to go Corsairs at all now. Oh, and that was High Templar being caught completely by those Mutalisks, not managing to storm themselves to try to catch those Mutalisks. This is exactly what you need to use Mutalisks for on the ground for. Is you need to catch the High Templar so they can't storm the main army that's going to move in on the ground. Because even with Archons, you can't really. Hydras can do very well. Hydras are very powerful forces. They can shoot in from the ground, and you need more than just Archons against them. And again, now meanwhile, Zero going to move in with a bunch of Hydras on this expansion here. Again, there are nothing but 3 cannons defending and another morphing in, and there are Mutalisks meanwhile waiting around in Bisu's natural, gonna just prevent those from moving out. And I think this nexus there of Bisu's is lost. Zero meanwhile moving and sacrificing a lot of Mutalisks just to take out High Templar. He's doing very well. That's basically the job of his Mutalisks right now. It's his ground forces are what's going to take out Bisu's bases. Meanwhile, a lot of Lurkers on the way, and those Mutalisks are there simply to take out the heavy forces, the heavy hitters, take out the High Templar so they can't storm the main Hydra army. Because with the way Bisu storms, at least the way he stormed against Magma in the last match, whew, I mean, those will decimate a ground army in seconds. It's insane. But if you prevent those High Templar, if you prevent that heavy High Templar play, that's going to be able to do anything. Again, those Mutalisks now trying to take out the High Templar. The High Templar just has managed to survive, but quite a few Dragoons did get taken down. Now, Zero moving in, and Zero in such a good position at this point. He has so many ground forces. He has 4 bases running up, and Bisu in serious trouble. He has almost no ground forces. He has a High Templar there, which storms pretty decently, takes down a few forces there, but now Zero moving in with a lot of Dragoons and Lurkers as well, not with a lot of Hydras and Lurkers, but nothing but Dragoons now on the ground to defend that bunch of Hydras and a few cannons there. And I think at this point Bisu is actually losing this match. He might lose this very soon now. Zero moving in as he's apparently going to take out Zero. He has a lot of fans there with Zero masks on. Meanwhile, Overlord's also in. GG now coming from Bisu. Oh my freaking god. Oh man, Bisu looking dejected there, man. Oh man, look at the look on his face. He cannot believe it. He cannot believe that he, the defending champion of the MSL, gets knocked out in the round of 32 against Zerg of all things. Bisu this is where his arrogance is and cockiness just kicks him in the butt, because Bisu is a very good player, but he has this. This is actually not the first time this has happened. This is the second time that he gets cocky and thinks, hey, I'm going to get an easy zerg group and totally crush everybody, and instead he gets crushed. Savior and Zero moving out, 2 zergs moving out. Oh man, the guy is obviously happy. He's can hardly withhold a smile. So I find it very good that somebody from the Stars has made it to the round of 16. I hope to see more from Zero, and I really hope that he gets forward. I really like this kid. He doesn't play spectacular, but he plays very solid, and his solid play works for him. I've seen him play very well in the Pro League, and I really look forward to seeing him do to Zero. So yeah, Bisu gone, kicked out in the early rounds of both the Batu OSL as well as the Lost Saga MSL to buy. Okay, this is going to be a spoiler here. This has been spoilers. I'm sorry if I spoiled something for somebody that Bisu has been knocked out of the Batu OSL, but he did lose to Hero there, by Hero, and here he lost to Savior and then Zero, and we're not going to be seeing anything of Bisu in the individual leagues for a while. He's probably going to be a bit more active now in the individual leagues, but and I mean in the Pro League, but in the individual league he's not going to be around. Zero, good work by him. All in all, GG. Losing to Savior, but still managing to come through. So Savior and Zero move on, and Bisu and Magma, bye-bye. They are bye. Big smile there. So yeah, GG guys. Big surprise here. I'm sure nobody expected this, but what are you going to do? That's what happens. Don't be cocky, Bisu. History repeats itself, apparently. GG.